Hey, Reverend Michael. Where's Valerie?
She's here.
Okay.
I just updating Facebook, and I guess that's an important one. I sent the email out. I updated.
We got it.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. I updated the website too.
Okay. Thanks.
So if people are looking on the website for the links, they're there.
I just texted the regulars to check their email, the new link.
Okay.
Yeah, we should have
All right. People will start finding it. I'll go ahead and get it going here.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. Yeah. Go. It'll start in about 30 seconds then. Hold on.
Okay. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Sorry about the rough start.
We're the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
And this is Greg, and this is Anji, our musician for today. And
Hi, Angie.
Hi.
we hope you got the message to tune in because we had some difficulties, but all is well.
Here we are.
Yes.
Yep.
So why don't you start us out with a prayer?
So let's just take a really deep breath. Let go of all the challenging technical things and just center ourselves into that oneness, that allness, that isness that we know is the truth of our being. And just take this time to bless this day, bless this service, bless our very special guest artist, Anji Kat, and our wonderful, amazing technicians and members and leadership council, and just like bless this day, bless this service, bless Reverend Michael and me as we just breathe into that which we came in here to do, and just allow ourselves to be the one presence, to be the one life, to be the one spirit. Allow this service to unfold in absolute ease and grace. Allow each person's essence to shine forth. And so I'm so grateful for this time together, and grateful to be starting our service, although we're a little bit late. So it is.
So it is.
Yeah.
What is it?
All right. We're going to get started with some music from the wonderful Anji Kat from our home in Lakewood.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to start with a new song called Back to My Roots, and it's really all about when things look really tough and challenging all around us, that sometimes we just have to get back to the basics.
Indeed.
So here we go. When did we leave the garden? When did we turn away from the light? Hatred snakes around in our heads. Shiny apples tempt us to take a bite. Looking for answers, looking everywhere, but nobody looks inside. I've gotta get back to my roots. Get back to my roots. Faith, hope, love, and truth. Get back to my roots. Set my sights on the mountain, pushing and shoving to reach the top. Trying to win, but I can't catch my breath. always searching for what I had forgot, looking for answers, looking everywhere, just gotta look inside, get back to my roots, get back to my roots, faith, hope, love, and truth. Get back to my roots. Get back to my roots. I was lost, but now I'm found. Got my feet on solid ground. Ooh. You want to know the secret? Not that hard, not that complicated. Plant your faith right where you stand. Open your heart, see what love has created. It's so simple, very first principle. It all starts inside. Get back to my roots. Get back to my roots. Faith, hope, love, and truth. Get back to my roots. Get back to my roots. Get back to my roots.
Yay!
That was so beautiful. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you and get some more of your music.
Yeah, they can just go to my website, anjikatmusic.com. That's spelled ANJIKAT music.com.
And that's a brand new song. It hasn't been recorded yet, right?
No, it hasn't been recorded yet, so stay tuned.
Thanks for introducing it.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
We appreciate it. So we'll be back to you in a little bit. We're going to make some announcements right now.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro, and check out our website, cslnorthmetro.org. So you can contact us from there. You can get the affirmations and the prayer for the week. You can get the links for all of like today's talk and all of the previous, about the last 2 or 3 months of our previous talks. And you can do prayer requests there, and we're starting to get a lot of prayer requests in. So we're really, really happy to be praying with people. But if you do the contact us, we'll add you to our email list, and then that way you'll know what's going on. So we have a Signs of Mind magazine discussion group on the first and third Friday at 1 p.m. And on the fourth Friday or the fifth Friday, depending on what the last Friday is, we have a spiritual movie and discussion group, and we have a really good time at that one.
We do.
Today's title is Your Spiritual Toolbox. You've already met our guest artist, Anji Kat. And our reading today is from Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabhorn. I think we're ready for affirmations.
Sheila will do that. I think. I hope. Well, since we're waiting.
Hold on, we'll put him on here in a second. I gotta share my screen.
That's great. Okay.
Ready?
Ready. Affirmations for the week of August 16th.
2020.
I experience all of life centered in my inner sacred core.
The
The
power
power and presence of God lives fully and completely as my being. I cultivate love
and kindness in all my thoughts, words, and actions.
The universe supports a joyful and meaningful existence for my life. I am an active participant in a world that works for everyone. Right here and now, I simply recognize that all is perfect in this moment. And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Woo-hoo. Thank you.
It's perfect even in its imperfect.
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's right. Okay, and so today's reading is from Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting, The Astonishing Power of Feelings by Lynn Grabhorn, one of my favorite books. One of the best ways I've heard to describe feel-good energy is the analogy of a valve or nozzle, the kind you find on a fire hose. We're the valve, and the fire hose is what carries the energy flow from our source, that greater part of us that we're forever connected to. The stream of non-physical energy is what we really are, an unfathomable force of joy, abundance, and security. Most of the time, we keep ourselves cut off from that full stream of energy. How? With a closed valve of negative energy. But when we tune in, turn on, and feel good, we open that magic valve to let our high vibrational flow flood through us. Now, we feel alive, up, vibrant, energetic, excited, turned on, all better known as happy. Like the water pressure in our hose, the energy is always there, but we have to take purposeful, deliberate steps to open that rusty old valve if we want our high frequency source energy to flow through. Having an open valve, feeling good, means positive energy is flowing to us, through us, and from us, and we're creating on purpose. Having a closed valve, anything that feeling good isn't, means we're flowing negative energy, resisting our natural flow, and creating by default. This doesn't mean we have to be flapping around higher than a kite all day long. All we have to do is squeak open that valve just a crack. And we instantly let in a little more of that life-giving energy flow. If we can find ways to feel just a tiny bit better than before, one little feeling at a time, then we've begun the reversal of a lifetime of negative attraction.
So let's open that valve right now and bring back Anji Kat as she even opens it further for us to be all that we can be. Anji.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This one I'm sure you'll recognize, and it's all about the power of our imagination. So I hope you'll sing along with me if you feel the urge. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine there's no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will live as one. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one.
Yeah.
Woohoo! God, it's so beautiful.
You're not the only one.
You're not?
No,
We're right there with you.
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. We'll
Yeah.
get back to you after the talk.
Okay.
Okay, see you then. So I had this dream 4 nights ago, and in the dream I was pulling these weird things out of a suitcase, and I realized that they were tools, and I was wondering, what are these tools for? And then all of a sudden came to me that this week's talk would be about the tools that we have in religious science or science of mind. And it's so appropriate that Anji sang about the roots, because we're gonna talk about the roots of our teaching, the tools that we use in our teaching. As always, the goal is always to live spiritually this human experience. The goal is always to get to living completely in a spiritual realm while having this human experience. So I sat down the first time to meditate for this title, which is Your Spiritual Tool Belt Box. Well, it could be a tool belt too. It's good to carry it around with you. And I had this flashback to when I was a kid, and we were living in Florida, and we were moving, and we were moving to Key West. And when you go to Key West, you go over all these bridges, like miles and miles of bridges crossing different keys. I think there's like 50 different bridges. And it reminded me, like in spiritual terms, that there's bridges that we need to build in order to get to the things that we want to experience in our life, be it peace or harmony or healing or abundance or prosperity or some divine idea that's come through you that you want to manifest. And it always comes first as the idea or the thought. And from that idea or thought, we want to build a bridge to belief, because sometimes a thought can come or an idea can come and we get scared and we let it go and nothing ever happens of it. So we want to build that bridge to belief, believing that it is ours to do, believing that it can be done, believing in yourself, believing that you attract everything you need to manifest whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest in your life, and really doing everything to support that belief. And once you've built the bridge to belief and you've crossed over and you've done everything to strengthen that little island of belief, then you build the bridge of knowing that it is done, knowing that it is complete, fulfilled in whatever moment and place that you're at in manifesting that idea or that thought. So we're going to go over a few of the tools that we have in our toolbox and that you have in your toolbox, and just talk a little bit about them. I have a quote by David Lynch. He says, "The thing about meditation is you become more and more you." And that is so true. So our first tool in the toolbox, it's not necessarily in the order of importance. It was the order that came to us when we were writing them down. Meditation is a place where we can discover ourselves. We can delve into the truth of our being. We can touch that divine sacred place within us where everything is perfect, the perfection of your own being. Mm-hmm. It's that still small place where the divine and the sacred dwells. It's that answer to all life. It is that calming of the mind. It doesn't have to be any one particular way. When I first started meditating, I thought, well, you got to sit in this one position and cross your legs and do all this stuff and just be there. And it wasn't easy for me because I had a very busy mind. I like most people, the mind is so busy. And I had to learn over a period of time that the busyness was okay. If I sit and I meditate, let the busyness just move through and calm myself and just giving yourself the time to be still and to know the truth and to know that even if your mind is busy, sitting there and being still, something is happening. Mm-hmm. You're opening this wonderful world of spirit within yourself. It's where God can talk to us. Mm-hmm. It's like if you're listening on a phone, it's the part where you hear, and God does talk to us. And there's the other part of the phone, which you want to talk about the prayer part?
Yeah. Are you done?
Yeah.
So I just want to talk about meditation for a minute before I move into prayer. When I first started meditating, it was really easy for me. It was just great. I just sit down and I just go right in there. And then, I don't know, somehow I lost it and it became very, very difficult and I couldn't quiet the mind down. And I had these expectations of meditation always being like it was when I first started. Mm. And so when we took the spiritual practices class, well, when you taught and I took, Ram Dass had a book about meditation and he really talked about it. Your meditation just is what it is. And so some days it might be that wonderful thing that you get where you just can feel like you're part of everything. And another day you have a busy mind. And he's like, it's about the practice. And I don't know if he said it this way or not, but what I got was it's about the practice of putting yourself in that chair and taking the time to be still and do this thing. And whatever you get that day, you get. And then it's like when you notice your mind's busy, okay, let it go and go back. Mm-hmm. When you notice your mind's busy, okay, let it go and go back. And so it is what it is for you that particular day. And it is what it is every time you sit down to be still and meditate. It is what it is, and that's okay because it's all about everything we're talking about. It's all about the practice. It's not about the being perfect. It's always all about the practice.
Yeah. Right on.
That's why we call it practicing, and that's why we call them practitioners.
Yeah. And if it's only 5 minutes, that's fine. If you can only do 5 minutes throughout the day, or if you want to sit for an hour or 10 minutes or whatever, it doesn't make any difference. Just stilling yourself is what's important.
Sometimes it's just a deep breath while you're standing. Well, we're not standing in grocery store lines anymore much, but you know what I'm trying to say. So the next thing we want to talk about is prayer. And what did you say about that? That meditation is us listening to God and prayer is
us talking to God.
Okay. And so we have 5 stages because we were taught that, but because it works actually. So the first stage is recognition. And that is when we recognize that we're one with this amazing intelligence that is. And we just sit there in the stillness until we understand that we're a part of that oneness, that isness. And it's about that feeling tone. It's like you need that feeling tone to go on. And so at that point, then you're just talking about what God is. So God is intelligence and eternal and perfect and present and all that is. And so then the next thing that we do, now we're in this still place and we're recognizing what God is. And now the next thing is we recognize that I'm one with that. And so right where God is, I am. That everything that God is, I am. And the next thing is realization. So what we do in realization is we talk about the things that we want like they're already done. And it's important to get the feeling tone that they're already done. And it reminds me of something I learned a really long time ago about, and all of you who play sports will already know this, about visualizing yourself achieving the goal before you throw the ball or hit the ball or however it is you play sports. But it's that visualizing yourself already having done it, already having accomplished it, already having the feeling of it being done. And your subconscious does not know the difference between that imagination of you imagining it done and you actually doing it. And so as you're imagining it already done, so your words are important, but the imagining it already done as you're speaking those words are really important too, because then the subconscious can get to work on creating what it is that you're talking about. And I know we talk about the seed soil plant a lot, and I was thinking about that this morning. The reason that we do, it's like it's a really easy thing to understand. Like when I go out in my garden and I plant a seed, I know what I'm going to get. That seed is going to do what that seed does. The soil's going to do what that soil does, and the water to nourish it's going to do what it does. So when I plant a carrot seed, I'm not expecting it to be a tomato. When I plant a plant, I know what it is, and it just does its thing. And so when we get our mind out of the way, our beliefs out of the way about ourselves, about things, about whatever, then we can just allow that part of us that creates all of the time, that's connected with the divine all the time, to just do its thing and bring us forward.
Get me excited.
And then, as we're giving thanks that this is already done in the mind of God, that it is manifesting into form right here and right now, that it's already done in the mind of God, and so it has to manifest in my life. It's also nice to say this or something better, because it could, you could have this big thing coming to you that we're putting off because we're just saying, I just want this little piece. And there might be a big thing coming forward, and we didn't claim that, and we're not moving on that. So we're just going to accept a little bit, but we could accept a big bit. So this or something better. And then once we've done that, there's nothing more to do but release it, because it's already manifesting in the mind of God. It is already coming in the form right here and right now. It is really important that we know that and believe that. And if our negative mind starts coming back, pray again. Have somebody pray with you. Have somebody pray for you. We talked, I think it was a couple of Fridays ago, when we talked about how much more effective praying out loud is than praying to ourselves. Or when you're having a really difficult time with something, how effective it is to have someone else know the truth for us. Because sometimes I might get stuck in a thing, and then I say, Reverend Michael, would you pray for me? And then it's like, okay, I can just attach myself to that belief that he is holding for me. And then I can let go of that thing that's holding me back and believe it for myself too.
So it's all about shifting energy, taking the energy that you're feeling and going through, and shifting it by going within and speaking your word and declaring the truth, or having somebody speak it for you and declare the truth. And that energy shifts. You'll be surprised how in an instant, the way you enter it and the way you come out of it is two different people, two different energy fields.
I forgot my quote. If you only pray when you're in trouble, you're in trouble. Anonymous.
Yeah, that's true, because a lot of people that do pray when they're in trouble, it's more like desperation, and the universe feels that and responds to that desperation. So if you're praying about trouble and you're feeling trouble, then that's a good time to ask someone else to pray for you.
It is. And it's really important to not go back into the old energy. I used to have a person come ask me for prayer after service on Sunday, and that person would be talking about all the troubles, and I'm like, okay, we're going to let those go, and we're going to pray now. And we'd pray and we'd pray and we'd pray. And then as soon as I'd say, and so it is, he'd start talking to me about the troubles. And I'm like, whoa, you just undid what we did. We have to do it again now.
So I want to talk about visioning now, which is another one of our tools. And this quote is from Ernest Holmes. There comes to each the logical and exact result of his own receptivity. To each, life brings the reward of his or her own visioning. To the pure, all is pure. First time I sat on a lot of vision teams when I was at Agape, because Agape is like a visioning mecca. Every ministry visions, everything is done with visioning. And if it doesn't get visioning, then it doesn't work. But I can remember the first time I started visioning for myself. I was in my senior year of ministerial school, and I asked a group of people if they would come and vision for my ministry. And different folks would come at different times. Sometimes we'd have a person for one time, but they're all people that I was close to and that I felt sacredness with. And every time we would vision, and we were visioning once a week for a whole year, every time we would vision, one person or the other person would see this land that was like the Grand Canyon, the red rocks and the temple-looking structures, and then other people would see these pine trees and snow and all, and everybody would see this.
And cowboys.
What?
Cowboys.
Cowboys, yeah, and cowboys. And everybody would see that except for me. I never saw it once. So a year goes by and I start to candidate for churches, and I go to this one place called Grand Junction, Colorado, and there near Grand Junction is the National Monument, which is red rocks and temple-looking structures, and also there is, what's the name?
The Grand Mesa.
The Grand Mesa, which is a flat-top pine tree mountain, and there were lots of cowboys there, and I was like, oh my God. And I didn't attach to it. We'll talk about that later, but I didn't attach to it because I thought, well, this is either mine or it's not mine, but I know my journey is right. I know I'm coming in the right direction. And that turned out to be my first ministry. Visioning opens a scope for infinite possibilities. It goes beyond what our imagination can ever think or dream up. What I like to think of it as, you're on a boat and you see an iceberg. Well, all you see is the surface, the iceberg. Mm-hmm. But visioning shows you the depth and everything that is underneath the water. It reveals to you everything that you need to know about whatever it is that you're visioning for. And there's usually 5 questions. Let's say that you're visioning for your purpose. The first question is, what is God's vision for my purpose? Second question is, what do I have to become? Third question is, what do I have to release? Fourth question is, what do I have to embrace? And the last question, is there anything else? And you ask each question one at a time, and you sit in it for as long as you're guided to sit in it. And then you move to the next question. And it's good to do with a group of people. You do it by yourself, but it's always good to do with a group of people, because I would have never seen the Grand Mesa and the National Monument. I don't know what I would have done, but it's always amazing. I have a partner that we've been visioning together once a month for 15 years. And we vision once a month. We take turns. I vision for him and he visions for me, alternating months. And I don't think I could live without it. You have anything to say about vision?
Well, it's really interesting. So I'm I have kind of a left brain. I mean, I actually have that artistic side too, but I had a really, really hard time with visioning. It was very difficult for me. It's like I'm sitting there and people are getting colors and flowers and, oh, some people got paragraphs and I'm just sitting there. And so I was in a lot of maybe self-blame or guilt or I can't do this. And so as long as I stayed there, I couldn't do that. And I finally had to realize that just like everything else, visioning is a practice. You put yourself in the chair and you sit there and you just allow. And whatever comes, comes. If nothing comes, that's okay. If something comes, that's okay. And the way visioning works for me is different than it works for some other people. And that is, I get colors. Occasionally I'll get a word or something. But what really happens for me with visioning is I'll be sitting at my desk and all of a sudden the idea that I needed right in that moment comes. And so when we are doing these things that we call practices, it really is a practice. And we really each are absolutely individuals and things come to us in different ways because we're individuals, because we do things differently. And I know that visioning tunes me into those solutions coming right when I need them.
It's funny, we had a vision team when I was in Grand Junction, and we would vision every week. And we had this elder who would, when we come out, what happens is when you come out, you share, and we journal everything that's shared. So it's in writing. It's kind of like writing your own Bible, or having a Bible being written through us. But anyway, this one woman, every week, we could tell when she would share, it was preconceived ideas, things that she wanted, and it wasn't anything she was really getting. It was things that she'd come in with the agenda with. And we did that for weeks and weeks and weeks, and everybody was very patient with her and very sweet with her. And then one week we came out of it and she goes, well, I could share something, but then that music you were playing just distracted me and I couldn't even think. And we all looked at each other and go, there wasn't any music playing. So it was
you finally got it.
Yeah, it was a breakthrough for her. She finally understood that just by opening up, things would come. And if they didn't come, it was okay. Because what we also discovered is every once in a while, one or maybe two people would get absolutely nothing. They would just be nothing. But they were kind of like designated to hold the space for us all to get stuff. Mm-hmm. It's such an amazing venture and an adventure to take. Where are we at?
We're at affirmations.
Oh, affirmations. Okay.
So I'm going to read a quote. You will be a failure until you impress the subconscious with the conviction that you are a success. This is done by making an affirmation which clicks. Florence Scovel Shin. So with affirmations, they're things that we want to create. But also, like in the realization part of the prayer, we say them like they're already done. And we're always creating. We were reading the other day, I think it was, I forgot who wrote the article we were doing for this week, who talks about how our mind is thinking even when we're asleep, that it's thinking. And we're creating all of the time. And so it's really important that we plant those seeds of thought in our mind of that which we really want to create. And one of the cool things you can do with affirmations, and why I put them on the website and why we say them every week, is so that you can actually take them, put them on your desk or on your refrigerator or on your kitchen counter or wherever is a place that you can see them often. And you can read them every day or 2 or 3 times a day, or every time when you're feeling like, wow, I just need a boost. We can just take that minute to reconnect ourselves with an affirmation or two. So I think we do a few of them, but it can be just one affirmation. It can be just, we do it like it's already done. We do it every day. We do it when we're thinking, oh my, I just bought a new computer and I've had so many challenges. and so, it's like, I want that new computer and it can do really good things for me. And so I'm knowing that I work through all of these challenges very, very quickly so I can begin to just really enjoy it. So that's one way. It's like I was on hold with Microsoft for about 4 hours last week, and it's like affirmations are really good. Okay.
So you're affirming a truth that you want to keep energized inside you. And like Reverend Valerie said, we send out these affirmations, and you can just pick one and constantly repeat it during the day.
Or make your own.
Yeah. It's a shortened realization of truth that you can repeat over and over again. Mm-hmm. And it empowers the prayer that you may have said earlier that day. You can empower it by repeating the affirmation constantly during the day. Should we move on to mantras?
We should.
So this is the quote for the mantra. When you recite a mantra, you make yourself positive, pure, and your vibration is very penetrating. Yogi Bhajan. Repeating a phrase like a mantra, unlike an affirmation, it's more like a spiritual phrase, like God is, I am. I am, God is. I use a mantra that is Sanskrit, Tibetan, and it's Om Tare Tutare Ture Saha. And Om is Tara's, Tara is, let me start with, Om represents Tara, and she's like the female Buddha, and Tara's sacred and enlightened body, speech, and mind. It is also the very first sound of creation. And Tara means liberating. Tare means liberating from all discontent. So I'm tapping into the mind and body of Tara, this goddess that is the Buddha, and I'm liberating all my discontent. And then Tutare means liberating from fear, external dangers, also from internal dangers like ignorance and delusion. So I'm liberating myself from all those fears by that phrase. And Ture means liberating from duality. So I'm moving back into oneness. And finally, Soha, may the meaning of this mantra take root in my mind. So this mantra for me is incredible. When I have restless, sleepless nights, sometimes I just start saying this. I have 3 or 4 or 5 different mantras that I use, but this one's real powerful for me because I guess it was the first one I learned. And I learned it from the Dalai Lama because I had this recording of his, and he was doing this mantra, and I just thought, I want to do that because it's ancient and it felt strong within me. And by saying that, I find peace, and it actually takes me into a sleepful place, a very peaceful place, and I always sleep very good. So repeating a mantra, just like how can I say that? It's like an affirmation, only it's more in the cosmic place. It's more of tapping into the God-centered place that dwells within you and the ancient thoughts that have always been around. Can you say anything about it?
I can say I couldn't do that because I'd be so in my head trying to figure out what that next word was. And so I can do a couple of things. I can do, I just forgot the one I usually do. But so Reverend Edward Vion, who's now our spiritual leader, but he wasn't at the time. We were at a gathering, conference. It was called gathering at the time. And I think we were in LA, someplace. So we're all in the room together, and he says, and then he has us all repeat it. And I think we did it 100 and Is it 3? Whatever that reads on it. There is one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. I can do that one. I can remember that one. I can say that one. And then I can release things because I don't have to be thinking about, oh, what was that next word? So that one really works for me. And there are a couple of others. But so if you're interested, we have some other ideas too. And that just helps stop the busy mind.
Yeah, and really stress, and it does a lot of things. But it's more geared towards the spiritual realm than the physical realm. Like in affirmations, we're declaring that we have perfect health, or we're declaring that that abundance is mine now, and we're declaring things in the physical realm that's good for us. Where in the mantras, it's more in tapping into the spiritual realm. They both tap into the spiritual realm, but one is about the physical and one is about the ethereal.
Oh, I remembered it. Om Mani Padme Om.
Yeah.
So that one's a good one too, because that one's really easy. Okay.
That's Sanskrit.
That is Sanskrit. And I really like Sanskrit. It's just like yours was, I'd be working on that one. And that's okay, because, this spiritual journey is individual to each of us, and however it is that works for us is what's right for us. So.
I once had a female guru give me a mantra, and it was Om Klim Christve Namaha, which is Christve is Christ in Sanskrit. So she asked me, was there ever what religion I used to be in, and who was the leader? And I said, well, Jesus. And she said, well, here's a mantra for you. So she had given it to me and blessed me with it.
That's nice. Okay, are we ready to move on to journaling?
Yeah.
Good. So here's my quote for journaling. Open the door to self-understanding by writing, reading, and creating a journal of your life. And that's from Kathleen Adams, who wrote Journal to the Self. What I found with journaling, and so sometimes we'll talk about journaling in terms of what's that writing where you just
stream of consciousness
writing, where you just write 3 pages and you don't think about it and you write as fast as you can go. And that is really helpful for me when I'm working on a situation, because it keeps the mind busy so that what's wanting to come forth through me can just come forth. And I can remember a really difficult situation I was working on, and I'm doing that every day. I think I might have been even doing that twice a day. And after I did that for a little while, all of a sudden I'd go back and look at it, and this little piece of light would show up, and just like, oh, so, that's a thing that I need to change, or I need to look at, or I need to do, or, oh, that's the thing the other person might be going through that you might need to recognize. Because, so I think that's a really, really good, it's probably a good thing to do every day, but it's especially a good thing to do when you're working through a challenge. But what really happens when you journal kind of regularly is you do just allow the pen to kindly write, and you might just be writing about your day or whatever's going on, but you're also busying the mind and letting go of the ego. So in all cases, I find that when we're journaling, we're allowing what we need to know to come through. And in the book, Kathleen talks about it can be your counselor, or because there are just so many ahas that come through when we do these spiritual practices, that it's not just one, it's all of the spiritual practices and the things that work the best for you.
So we're kind of the everyday people. We're not like gurus or any of that stuff, but these practices that we use and that are essential in our everyday life. One may be needed more than the other, and one you may have not used for a long, long time, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I need to do this, and you start doing that particular practice. But every practice, there should be a practice every day that you use. And when you set yourself up to have a daily practice, then things begin to work in your life. And things that aren't working so well, there's an ease and a grace to it that it doesn't upset you as much because you have been practicing and doing these roots of our teaching. And they're not just our teaching, because Ernest Holmes took from every religion, every philosophy, every science, and put this all together for us to be able to live our life perfectly. I think he said this, or maybe I made it up, I don't know. But I thought, I imagined that I think he did say this, when philosophy, religion, and science come together, there'll be an evolution of humanity. We will evolve into the next realm. So these practices are important. And I think by us talking about them, we're reminding ourselves too. We're not just saying it for you to be reminded. We're reminding ourselves, because sometimes life will be busy or life will be going perfectly, and you'll forget to do what brought you to this place. And you'll have to remind yourself, oh, I need to start practicing. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I'm not sure we have the time to.
I'm not sure we do either. I'm looking at the clock thinking, I think we probably better save the other practices for another day.
Yeah. We'll talk about other things another day. We got started late, and I don't know if our hour is up.
I have no idea what time we actually started, so.
Because we have to stay within an hour in order for this to be on.
They don't need to know.
Oh, okay. You don't need to
We just
know.
need to pray.
We need to pray.
Oh, we need to pray.
Okay.
You prayed?
Yeah. So I move into that realm within me, that God space, that Christ consciousness, that eternal life that dwells within me and every individual in this planet and beyond. The life of God that is animate and inanimate, seen and unseen, perfect, whole, and complete. And I know that as I move from the space of the outside into the inside, that I move to speak this word and declare for every person that is within the sound of my voice, that right where you are, the perfection of God is. And every desire that you may have in this moment is fulfilled in the mind of God. And I bless each and every person, knowing that the truth of your being is you are more than you ever may imagine about yourself. You are love, you are peace, you are harmony, you are joy, you are freedom, you are unending good. You are a manifester. You are even more than that. You are eternal. You are light. You uplift everyone that is around you because you are a child of God. So I know that as we move into this next week, that each and every person listening and participating in this service today flows with ease and grace through every moment, that you're guided and directed in everything you do. And together I invite all of us to see this planet as a healing place, that everything that is going on on the planet right now is part of the healing that's taking place, part of the evolution of humanity, part of where we are going. So as we join together and bless this planet and bless all its inhabitants and every rock and tree and animal and fish and bird and everything that is on this planet, we hold that truth that everything is unfolding perfectly. Everything is as it is, and it is joyful to know this. It is joyful to come together and claim peace for every human being on the planet. And so with the deep, deep heart of gratitude. So very grateful. Grateful for this day. Grateful for my relationship. Grateful for my home. Grateful for all the members of our center. Grateful for life. Grateful for more than life. Just grateful. I can now release this word into the love, into the law, knowing it is complete. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
Angie?
Ready, Angie?
Do we have time for another one?
We do.
Yeah, we do. We're going to go.
We're going to finish.
Okay, this one is perfect then. This is called Thankful.
Okay.
I'm walking down the sunny side of the street, song in my heart, light on my feet. I'm walking down the sunny side of the street. Every face is a friend I'd like to meet, yeah. There are clouds above my head sometimes, but I like the color gray. There are clouds in my life sometimes, but I like to dance in the rain. What is this feeling raining down on me? Drops of rain, drops of sun, it don't matter none, 'cause in my heart I'm free. Thankful, I'm so thankful for every little thing. Thankful, so thankful. Every morning is a new dawn, brightened by the sunrise. Every moment is a new one, when I choose to see with new eyes. What I'm seeing is what I'm feeling, changing all the rules. Deep in my soul, in my bones, I know it all starts with gratitude. Sing it. Thankful, I'm so thankful for every little thing. Thankful, so thankful. Oh yeah, thankful. Thank you so much.
Oh,
That was beautiful.
we
So,
were talking earlier how we tap into each other without even having discussions, and how the musicians' songs are always so appropriate and so right on. And you've held that space really well.
yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
we really enjoy it too. So this is our giving time, and I'm going to be really fast. So go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and there are lots of ways to give there. So we're going to bless all the gifts that have been coming into our website, and bless the checks that come in the mail and the ones that get delivered at the door. And
So it is.
are you done? Okay. All right, Angie. Let's have another song.
Oh, one more. Okay. This is called You Better Believe It.
All right.
I was feeling so incomplete, caught up in a cloud of self-defeat, just going through the motions again, wondering when my ship was coming in. Inside a voice said, we're bringing you down. You convince yourself there's no way out. Are you looking for someone to blame? Blind to the part you play in this game. You say you want a better life. You better believe it. Good fortune on your side. You better believe it. A love that fills you up inside, makes you feel alive. If you want to change, start with your mind. You better believe it. I thought what you see is what you get, but that's a lie that helped me to forget. My life's designed by no one else, so now it's time I told myself. You say I want a better life, you better believe it. Good fortune on your side, you better believe it. I love that fills you up inside, makes you feel alive. If you wanna change, start with your mind. If you wanna change, start with your mind. If you wanna change, start with your mind. Oh, you better believe it. You just gotta believe it. You know I'm gonna believe it. Gotta believe it.
Yes,
Hey, that was beautiful.
I believe it.
I believe it too.
Yeah. So right before Reverend Michael Benedict says, join us on Zoom following this, and we'll have a discussion about your ahas and the things you want to say. So the link is on Zoom, and okay.
So if you close your eyes and join me as we do the benediction. Just giving thanks for this wonderful life that we all were blessed with. Thankful for all the friends in our lives, all the acquaintances, for all the good, for our homes, for our families, and for so much more. Grateful, eternally grateful. We move through this week with this attitude of gratitude, knowing life is great and grand, and everyone we come in contact with or think about is uplifted because we are here. For this and so much more, I'm eternally grateful by releasing into the love, into the law, and letting it be. And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll see you on Zoom after.
Thanks, Greg and Sheila. Thank you, Angie.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye.
I end the broadcast with a nice clean finish. Couple seconds here.